If someone has betrayed or hurt you, the worst thing you can do is react from a place of pain. But there is one single action that will change everything. And once you discover it, you will never suffer from betrayal again. Betrayal hurts because it shatters trust, makes us doubt ourselves, and can turn into a wound that feels impossible to heal. How can you let go of the pain? How can you regain inner peace when someone has harmed you? The teachings of Zen Buddhism hold the answer. It is not about revenge nor about suppressing what you feel. It is about understanding the nature of suffering and learning how to free yourself from it. Today you will discover the secret that wise sages have passed down for centuries. A single action that can transform pain into wisdom, resentment into freedom, and sadness into growth. If you have been betrayed, do nothing, but not in the way you might think. Stay until the end, because what you are about to hear could change your life forever. Betrayal is one of the deepest emotional wounds a person can experience. It can come from an unfaithful partner, a disloyal friend, or even a family member who broke your trust. When that happens, the impact goes beyond the deception itself. It makes us question our worth, our decisions, and even the nature of our relationships. Why does someone betray the very person who gave them love and trust? Is it possible to heal without getting trapped in resentment? How can we let go of the pain without losing our dignity? Zen Buddhist teachings show us that suffering does not come from betrayal itself, but from our resistance to accepting what has happened. The attachment to the expectation of loyalty is what causes the pain. But here is the key. There is a way to transcend this wound without feeding the suffering, an action that, once you understand it, will completely free you from the past. Today, you will learn how to release betrayal with wisdom and stop carrying the weight of emotional pain. If someone has deceived or hurt you, there is an answer you do not expect, and it could change your life forever. When someone betrays us, the natural reaction is pain, anger, and the desperate need to understand why it happened. The mind enters an endless loop of questions. What did I do wrong? How did I not see it coming? Could I have prevented it? This search for answers can consume us, making us prisoners of our own suffering. From a Buddhist perspective, the problem does not lie in the act of betrayal itself, but in the attachment we have to the image we created of the other person. When we trust someone, we construct an idea in our minds of who they are, what values they hold, and how they should act. Betrayal shatters that image, leaving us face to face with a reality we refuse to accept. Buddha taught that suffering comes from resistance to reality. When we cling to what should have been instead of accepting what is, we create unnecessary pain. Someone else's deception does not define our worth or dignity. What truly hurts is not just the act of betrayal itself, but the internal struggle between the truth and the story we wanted to believe. To break this cycle of suffering, it is essential to shift our perspective. Instead of asking, "Why did they do this to me?" the real question should be, "What can I learn from this experience?" This is where the Buddhist teaching of detachment becomes crucial. Detachment does not mean indifference or resignation. It is not about ignoring the pain or pretending it does not hurt. It means no longer giving betrayal power over our emotional well-being. The person who betrays acts from their own shadows, fears, insecurities, or hidden desires. Their actions are a reflection of their inner world, not yours. Imagine holding a rope tightly while someone on the other end pulls it violently. The more you resist, the more pain you feel in your hands. Letting go of the rope does not mean losing. It means freeing yourself from the tension that is hurting you. This is the process of releasing betrayal, stopping the cycle of resentment so you can reclaim your inner peace. In Zen Buddhism, there is a concept called wu-wei, which means effortless action, flowing with the nature of things. In the context of betrayal, this means accepting what has happened without allowing it to destroy our serenity. The truth does not need to be defended. In time, everything finds its place. When someone deceives or hurts us, our instinct is to react with anger, seek justice, or prove that we are worthy of respect. However, silence and calm hold far greater power. Responding with balance instead of fury places the responsibility for the harm where it belongs, on the one who caused it, not the one who suffered it. Thai Zen master once said, "The bamboo bends with the wind but never breaks." This is not weakness, it is wisdom. Those who cling to anger only hurt themselves. Those who learn to let go transform their pain into strength. Here lies the greatest lesson. True power is not found in revenge, but in the ability to move forward without allowing betrayal to define your life. Betrayal, though painful, holds a hidden lesson that most people refuse to see. It is not the betrayal itself that causes suffering, but our resistance to accepting it. We cling to the idea that the person who hurt us was incapable of doing so, that their actions were a mistake, that somehow we can make everything go back to the way it was. But this internal struggle only prolongs the pain. Buddha taught that suffering does not come from events themselves, but from our relationship with them. If we resist the truth, if we refuse to accept what has happened, the wound remains open and festers over time. However, when we stop holding on to what should have been and embrace what is, we find peace. One of the fundamental principles of Buddhism is the concept of impermanence. Everything in life changes. Nothing remains the same forever. Relationships, emotions, even our own identity evolve with time. Betrayal is no exception. Those who hurt you today may have once sincerely loved you, but love, like the seasons, changes its form. The most common mistake is taking betrayal personally. We believe it means we were not enough, that something in us was broken, but in reality, betrayal says more about the one who commits it than the one who suffers from it. Someone who deceives or hurts another does not do so because the victim deserved it, but because their own inner world is in conflict. Imagine holding a glass full of water, but over time, it starts to feel heavier. The longer you cling to it, the more pain you feel in your hand. Letting go does not mean the water disappears. It simply means you are no longer carrying its weight. The same applies to betrayal. You cannot change what happened, but you can decide whether to keep holding on or to let go. The true lesson in this process is conscious detachment. It does not mean ignoring what happened, but rather choosing to stop giving it the power to define you. It does not mean forgetting the pain, but deciding that it will not dominate your present. Zen teaches us that true freedom lies in the ability to observe without reacting. When you allow betrayal to steal your peace, you give power to the one who hurt you. But when you remain balanced, refusing to be consumed by anger or resentment, you regain control over your life. Many people seek justice after being betrayed. They believe that exposing the truth or confronting the betrayer will bring relief. But Buddhism teaches that the most powerful justice is the one that requires no demonstration. Karma is an unbreakable law. Everything a person does will, sooner or later, return to them. It is not your task to ensure that the one who betrayed you suffers, because life itself takes care of giving each person what they have sown. The key question is, how much longer will you allow pain to control you? Every minute spent thinking about betrayal, about what you could have done differently, about how the other person should pay for their mistake, is a minute you could be using to heal, grow, and rebuild yourself. When a bird is trapped in a cage with an open door, it can leave at any time, yet it often stays because it knows no other reality. Betrayal can be your cage or your liberation. It all depends on whether you choose to hold on or to fly toward something new. Here is the truth. Letting go is not losing. Letting go is making space for what truly deserves to be in your life. When someone betrays us, the instinctive reaction is to seek answers, to look for explanations, or even to demand justice. We ask ourselves over and over again, why did they do this? Did what we shared mean nothing? These questions echo endlessly in our minds. But the truth is that in most cases we will never receive a satisfying answer. Buddhism teaches us that the mind suffers because it clings to what it cannot control. We try to rationalize the irrational, searching for logic in what is merely a reflection of another person's inner shadows. But there is one truth that many refuse to accept. Betrayal is not your problem. It belongs to the one who committed it. Imagine a mirror. If it is clean, it reflects clearly. If it is dirty, the image becomes distorted. Betrayal is the result of a broken mirror in the mind of the one who hurt you. Their own insecurities, fears, or desires led them to act selfishly, not because you lacked something, but because something within them was out of balance. Zen philosophy tells us that when someone harms us, we have two choices: to keep clinging to the wound or to free ourselves from its influence. If someone stabs us with a dagger, what sense does it make to push it in deeper? Yet that is exactly what we do when we relive the pain, when we let ourselves be consumed by anger or resentment. Buddha taught that holding on to hatred is like grasping a burning coal with the intention of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned first. Instead of feeding the fire, true wisdom is recognizing that the damage has already been done, but its effect on you is something you can control. The key to overcoming betrayal is not to understand it, but to transcend it. It does not mean ignoring what happened. It means consciously deciding that you will not define your life by it. Every time you think about the person who hurt you, every time you drown in the pain of what happened, you are binding yourself even tighter to that story. But if you choose to let go, you reclaim your power. Buddhist teachings speak of the concept of emotional emptiness. We feel betrayed because we expect people to be a certain way, to act with reciprocity, to value what we give. But this expectation is an illusion. No one owes us anything. When we understand this, we stop seeing betrayal as a personal attack and start recognizing it for what it truly is, a reflection of the other person's nature. A Zen monk once said, "If someone hits you with a stick, do you get angry at the stick or at the person holding it?" In the same way, when someone betrays us, we must ask ourselves, is the person the real problem, or is it their own internal shadows that led them to act this way? Detachment is the most powerful weapon against suffering. It does not mean coldness. It does not mean indifference. It means you choose not to let the behavior of others dictate your peace. Think of it this way: when someone betrays, they break something within themselves more than within you. The lost trust is their burden. The disloyalty is their burden. The consequences are their burden. Your only responsibility is not to become a prisoner of pain. Many people believe that holding on to anger protects them, that if they let go of resentment, they are somehow forgiving what was done to them. But letting go is not the same as justifying. Letting go means deciding that your energy is too valuable to waste on someone who did not know how to value you. Buddha taught that while we cannot avoid the initial suffering, we can choose how long we carry it. Betrayal is an unexpected blow, but what we do after that blow is what truly defines our destiny. You can keep picking up the pieces of something broken, or you can let go and walk toward a life that is freer, lighter, and more fulfilling. Because in the end, what truly matters is not why they betrayed you, but what you will do with what you have learned. Betrayal hurts, there's no denying that. It shakes us, breaks us, and forces us to question everything we once believed was certain. But what truly keeps us trapped is not the act itself, it's our resistance to accepting it. We keep reliving the pain, feeding the wound, waiting for answers that may never come. However, there is immense power in letting go, not for the sake of the other person, but for yourself. Because every time you hold on to resentment, you remain tied to that story. But when you choose to release the weight of betrayal, you reclaim your peace. The teachings of Buddhism and Zen show us that true victory is not found in revenge or even in external justice, but in reaching a state where what happened no longer controls you. When someone betrays, it is their problem, but if you continue to suffer because of it, then it becomes yours. So the final question is not why they hurt you, but how much longer you will allow that pain to define your life. If this message resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What impacted you the most? Have you experienced something similar? How did you overcome it? Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to continue exploring Zen and Buddhist wisdom. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, true peace doesn't come from outside, it comes from within.